I don't forget.
You're like 9/11.
I'm like 9/11. I always remember.
Iran's never gonna forget. He saw the flag that's just like, we're gonna kill you.
Yeah, I was like, what the
They released a big ass banner and a bunch of other shit that just says, we're gonna kill Trump. And I'm just like,
But don't do it at our expense, please.
Dude, I know.
Please make sure
like,
that it's only him.
if they're gonna do something, please just look at the electoral map and just look at everything that's red and go from there, dude.
Don't we have friends in those states too?
We can house them. That's fine.
You're right.
Yeah, dude.
Sacrifices, dude.
Sacrifice everybody else, but we keep the ones that we like.
We can't do that, dude. That's not how bombs work.
We don't know anybody that lives in DC. Just target DC. There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry to everybody else.
sorry to DC. Bremen Rock.
Bremen Rock. All right.
Mine's is something.
So I got
up to 30% off pre-loved gear. Oh, Lululemon.
I got World Series stuff. I mean, World Cup stuff.
World Series stuff.
What's going on?
You getting like ads from the future, dude?
Yeah.
Who's gonna win?
Joe.
Joe Mama.
Yeah.
That's good. That was a good Steve impersonation, dude.
Thanks, dude.
Speaking of Steve, I think it's Steve's turn.
It is Steve's turn.
It is my turn. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast. We are heard from a friend. Your three favorite idiots, as always. We got Lee, we got Richard, and myself, Steve. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe with your favorite summer idiot.
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
It's a weird late June gloom that we're experiencing out here in California, because we didn't get any June gloom till now.
Yeah.
True.
I like this weather. This is my favorite weather.
The humidity?
Yeah, unless it's a little humid outside.
Humid.
Not gonna lie.
Have
I
you
just
gone
like when
outside?
it's overcast. No.
Oh,
Dude, I
you
don't
don't
go outside.
Then you
Only
don't like
people
this
go
weather,
outside.
dude.
We
You're
went
right.
outside last night.
Do you think that was by choice?
That killed my soul. Whatever's left.
Towable.
We saw a dead rat. That was me. Hell yeah.
Remy.
Remy.
Yeah. Was he still there when you guys was by?
Yeah, surprisingly. I
Yes.
dead ass
Intact?
yeah.
Yes.
I was fully expecting some homeless dude to be gnawing down on that shit.
Imagine half of him missing. I feel like that would have been way worse.
Wait, but like which half, dude?
I feel like the bottom half.
That's the worst part. Is it like, does it cut like his bottom legs off, or is it like straight down, like, you know?
Oh. I feel like straight down the middle would be just extra twisted, but I feel like if the bottom half is just gone, just as twisted.
It's like how would dogs wear pants? Would it be?
It would be the butt.
Yes.
The butt would be covered. It'd go up to like their mid.
Bro. There's no bottom half. It's just the top. Are dogs wearing pants?
Yeah, the dog wore pants. How would it wear the pants?
Like an oval.
What? Because they have 4 legs, dude. And
You
pants are
don't-
supposed to cover your
my
legs.
Basically, he assless chaps for dogs is what it is.
In my opinion, you get pants that only cover the back hind legs,
The front.
and like obviously, and it goes up to the middle of the stomach, so it covers that
So then-
PP.
What?
If it's a boy dog,
A boy dog. Make sure the penis ain't visible.
mm-hmm.
Keep
Modesty.
them proper. Red Rocket.
Red ramen, yum.
Oh my god, dude!
Just kept
I'm not
getting
gonna lie.
worse.
I'm tired. I don't know why I'm so tired.
I'm tired too. It's the weather.
Yeah.
Genuinely, it's the weather.
What?
Let's see what happened. Fucking the world's healing. What's his face died. That fucking
I was gonna mention that later.
name, that Republic senator.
Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham died. Yeah.
I saw it when we
I saw
got
it this
home.
morning.
No, I saw it when I got home from last night.
You
what's it
mentioned
called?
it.
I just went on my TikTok and I just started scrolling and I saw it and I was just like, he fucking dead. And then yeah, that's when later on, like Steve had mentioned it. I was just like, oh, okay, everyone saw, we're good. But
I saw a
I didn't
comment
want
where
to
it
talk about
showed
it till
like
today.
showed a turtle, it showed some other shit, and in the end is an orange. So we're like, we're almost there, guys.
Yeah. The,
Oh, yeah.
the rule of threes.
The rule of threes. Yeah.
That is a thing.
That is
Yeah,
a thing.
Like,
When
it
you
is.
like know somebody, like, what is it? If you know somebody that died that was close to you, two people surrounding that space will also
no, it's just,
perish.
yeah, it's just death.
Yeah.
But mainly like with old people.
Yeah.
Troubles of threes.
Anytime one dies, there's always going to be another two. And when I worked at the senior facility place, like that would happen a lot. Like
People would
you
drop
would
like
go
flies.
months, nobody was dying or anything, which is good, sure.
Then all of a sudden you get 3 deaths back to back
But
to
then
back.
yeah, one dies, then a week later another one, like a couple days later the last one, and it's it's fucked up. But like as a game, quote unquote, we would just be like, who do you
Is it
think
play
is gonna be
bingo?
next? No, because like you could tell, right? You could tell when somebody's declining like that bad, and you're just like, I think they're gonna be the next one. But
yeah, it's funny. It's funny because I think like people think like that mentality's fucked up, but it's like once you like, it's funny what the human body and mind will do to like cope with like stuff like that. Because we're getting mortuary. Those were some of the goofiest, weirdest motherfuckers I've ever met. But like weirdest as in like I worked next to the prep station like office. So
where they prep the bodies for viewing?
yeah. So when I would go up
Nice.
to test my DVDs and the music and stuff like that, I had to go, which was really fucking stupid. I don't know why the media department didn't have a fucking DVD player and a fucking music player in our office. That was so stupid. But what I had to do was I had to go up the stairs and then cross where they're keeping like the cadavers, basically, just like they're ready to be sent out to the viewing rooms.
Yeah.
And then I would have to go to the office right next to it and then like put in my CDs and stuff and you know, check it out and then walk back through the prep room. But sometimes whenever the like, I don't know, the planners basically, whenever they needed something, they would ask, oh, where's, you know, the prepper or whatever, where's so and so. We'd always be like, oh, in the office or in the lab. I'm just gonna call it the lab because I don't remember the name, but it's where they actually like do the autopsies or like the embalming. Basically, they embalm them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
it was like they were the kind of people that were like. I remember when I was leaving and I was telling my coworker, he was like, "Hey, come in. I can't hear you. Come in. The music's too loud." They're like playing like just any kind of music. Like I think I walked in there, he was listening to R&B. I'm like, I don't. And so I'm like, hey, I haven't been in the lab since I started here. And I don't want my last day to be talking to you and telling you I'm leaving and you're elbows deep into a chest cavity with like Mary J. Blige in the background. I think I'm good. So yeah, but they do shit like that. So I feel like it kind of makes sense. Your brain is trying to like cope with what's going on, with what's happening. So
at some point,
gotta make humor.
Yeah. At some point also, I think it's the same with like doctors, I think, where they don't see it as a human anymore. It's just
a thing, a body.
A thing. Yeah. A body or whatever, something they got to work on. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess that's really the only way you can get through it. Because I also with like surgeons and shit, it's like, how do you not get nervous about, I don't know, putting your whole fucking arm in somebody's, you know, chest or wherever because you gotta commit or you gotta do surgery on this tiny little thing or whatever the fuck. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, at that point, or like without getting nervous at least of like, oh, I'm inside of a human. It's like that at that point you just don't even realize it anymore.
Yeah, I think that's also why like I don't necessarily fault doctors for seeing people as kind of numbers because there are so many people that they have to look over, and burnout does happen for doctors, but it's also like they're kind of trained and expected to at some point just be numb to like the worries and the woes because their whole point, their whole like objective or their goal is to get you feeling better, and get in and out. And the best way to do that, I feel like, is to look at things from an objective standpoint. Because I feel like sometimes emotion's good. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like sometimes it can cloud one's judgment. So yeah, I think I'd rather have somebody that's like calculated doing my surgery rather than someone, I don't know, that has a really good personality. That could be both. I don't mind having both in the operating room, but give me Doctor Strange, Doctor Stephen Strange with a shitty personality but magical surgeon hands.
Give me that Russian man or woman that just tells me I do surgery now, and then just like completely not checking after me after the fucking surgery, because they know they did such a good job, and they're just like, you better now go home. And I'm like, okay.
Yep. That's what I need. Give me nice nurses though. Give me some really nice nurses. That'd be nice. But
Filipina, Latina.
Yeesh.
One of the let's be real, that's like 80% of the force.
I know, but
It is.
What?
Sometimes it can be a little too blunt, straightforward, or realistic sometimes, especially for me, because I'm a real wimp when it comes to like doctors and dentist office. Like I kind of prefer some coddling in the end, because I
what it is,
get all like anxietied out when I'm in there.
I haven't been to the doctor in forever. I should be going, and we always have this talk. And I thought about it because I had to sign up for benefits at work the other day.
Nice.
I finally have like
Benefits.
yeah, whatever. Point is, I was just like thinking about it. I was like, I want a doctor or care team, whatever the fuck, where they're not going to, because I know it. And that's why I dread it so much too, is because I know they're going to start preaching to me like, yeah, you should be going a lot. You should be getting checked. Like, it's good for your health. Like, what if blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't want that. I want to go in, do your job. That's it. Don't tell me anything more as far as like lecturing me or anything, because that's the main thing that will turn me off from wanting to go back. It's just, I don't want to, you should know better talk. It's like, yes, I should and do know better, but I hate when people tell me like,
you should know better.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like it's almost like a redundant thing too for me, of like, because I don't like that stuff either. But it's almost like you should be blah blah blah, and you should be doing that, or you should be showing up more. It's like, I'm doing that right now, and I'm being berated for doing that right now, like, and my plan is to keep going on doing it, but to be then talked down to when I'm already like uncomfortable in the first place, it just does not feel good.
For me, it's a pet peeve. It's like the same thing, like, say, I don't know, say you decide at work, for example, like, I'm gonna do this task because I know that I should do it. It'll help or whatever. And then the manager just comes and it's like, while you're in the middle of it, they're just like, hey, I need you to do this task, blah blah blah, and it's like, well, I'm already doing it now. I don't want to do it. Yeah,
my response to that, especially after like in the beginning of any job, I was very like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I'm taking care of that right now, but I'll like, I've done this much so far. Like, I'm very much like, oh yeah, here. But as I like stay at a job, I'm very much like what do you think I'm doing? What does it look like I'm doing? Tell me.
Same thing with like,
it's goddamn.
When I was a kid or something, it's like, I'm doing a chore out of the kindness of my heart. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna sweep the living room or whatever the fuck. And then here comes my mom or whatever is just like, can you please sweep? I'm like, what does it look like I'm doing?
Right. Yeah.
Not appreciated in this house.
It's kind of the same thing when it comes to like, I think think just doing stuff in general. I think that's why I have such a gripe. One of the gripes of being home or living at home, it's the I don't know if you guys have it. I feel like it's like almost like a Latino thing, but I think it might just also be more my folks. But it's the like never ending funnel of questions, or the like, I don't know. It feels like it's second degree, or well, at least in my brain. Maybe it's because I've just been dealing with it for my whole life. But it feels like it's second degree when you're just trying to do something or go out and do something, or if you're doing something that isn't necessarily like the routine or whatever you're usually doing. You do like a little extra this or a little extra that, or it's just like, well, I'm just gonna do that, or I'm gonna go on my way and do this or whatever, like favors basically. But then it's the like, why are you doing that? What's going on? What's happening? Where are you going? Why? It's a lot. It's not as much now, but it's still like the like, I would just like to have the first thing that comes out of your mouth being thanks, rather than like a question or a what the hell.
Like,
I get you.
You mean like doing chores or something
It's
as a favor, and then them questioning, like thinking that you have a second intentions behind it or whatever the fuck. That's
one that's like one of the things, but it's also just like, I don't know.
Because I'm like, well, say for example, like I'm going out or somewhere, my mom will always ask, hey, oh, where are you going? But not in like a, I don't even know, like trying to find out if I'm up to like, it's just like, I don't know, trouble or whatever the fuck. It's just more of like a, where are you going in case something happens, so I know where you were last, or we're supposed to be, or whatever the fuck. Cause like the other stuff, like if I ever do a chore or anything, like maybe she'll ask like, oh, what are you doing? Like, but in like a happy way.
Right.
You know, I'm like,
I think for me, that's why I'm like, I feel like it's more my situation, just because for me, it's whenever that question is brought up, then it's followed with like, it's so dependent on the time and the day and like what the day had been filled with. Like if it's a I'm just gonna go and just do a quick drive, or I'm just gonna go and pick up something, or we're running out of this, so I'm gonna go pick it up. It's always a like, I get that it comes from a place of like worry and concern and love, but it's really, for me, it can be really frustrating to want to go do these things and then be hit with the, oh, I wish you wouldn't. Why you don't? You could just do it tomorrow, or you could do it on another day. And for me, doing stuff that is outside of my routine, it kind of is not, I don't want to say a lot, but it's a little bit more of like effort put into it, I feel like, because I'm such a whatever brain about like my routine, and it's like I hate like wishy-washy schedules, and I like really like just, even if it's like weird in the middle of the week off days, I just like a schedule or a pattern.
Yeah.
And if something happens where it kind of like,
you're routino.
Yeah. So that's why it's like, okay, so if I'm going to go do something, or if I want to go do something, or if I'm going to do this or that, it's out of the ordinary. I just want to be hit with okay, cool. Be careful. Or okay, cool. Got it. That's it. It's always a, followed by like couple of phrases or questions, and it's just like, oh God, Jesus Christ.
I think that is the downfall of living with parents.
Yep.
In an overall statement, you know.
Yeah.
Like, my parents don't really. I mean, I don't get bombarded with questions. They're usually like, "Oh, where are you going?" And I'll tell them. They're like, "Okay, be safe." Or they'll be like, same. "Oh, they're like, are you going? Like, or are you going with so and so?" I'm like, "No, not today." They're like, "Okay." They're like, "Just be careful." I was like, "Okay."
That's like the most that'll happen. Like,
yeah.
Like for me, it's like yesterday, for example, I'm like, oh, I'm going out, and she's like, oh, we're like, where are you going? I'm like, oh, we're just going to go eat food, for Lee's birthday. And they're like,
yeah,
oh, okay,
yeah,
right.
Same.
Or
well, that's also because like I think Richard and I accustomed our parents to just be like, be okay with that response. because sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm going out, and they're like, oh, where? I'm like, I'm just gonna go out. They're like, okay. They're like, just get home safe. I'm like, okay.
Same
But
thing.
like
Yeah.
I accustomed to that. Like I didn't situate them in the idea of them saying like me having to tell them everything. Like when I was younger, yes, but as I got older, I changed the word up to just oh, I'm going out or I'm gonna go out with the guys. That's
I
kind
just
of
tell them or my mom if I'm like if I'm like oh I don't really know what the plan is, but I'm just going out. I don't like just going like oh I don't even know. I just tell her oh I'm just going to the store. I don't know what I'm gonna do or what I'm gonna buy or anything like that, but I'm just going out. And she's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, just call me if you need anything.
If I do that, it's met with like, oh, hey, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go to the store real quick. It's like, why? Like, just gotta buy something. Like, insert anything here. And then if it depends on the time. If it's late at night, it's hit with the God, I wish you wouldn't, or do you really need to, or really, or well, why? And it's like. I just want to go to the store and I just want to pick this up, or I just want to go for a drive and just not be home, or I just want to do this and it's just this
I think that
everyday
like I said,
action.
I think it goes back to that, right? Like it's the what we basically accustomed our parents to. Because I think if you were to switch your verbiage, I don't think they'd really like push that narrative. You could just be like, "Oh, I'm going out." Oh, why? Just going out. And it'd be like, "Okay." Like, I mean, it's not like they're gonna be like, "No, you can't."
Well, see, even then, when I was younger and I would do that, it would then lead to like it'd be a fight. It was always a fight.
but we were younger. Like we were young. I'm talking about now.
Yeah, no, yeah. Now, it's a little the same. It's a little the same, but I think it's less now, which is why it's not like I'm losing my mind constantly now. Like there's like, I think it's because there were moments and times in my life where I'm leaving and I'm just moving out, or I'm going through like big changes in like friend groups or relationships, and I've told them about that, and then my personality or attitude or vibes are just like different.
Mhm.
And I think they've realized like when they do things that I feel aren't like just standard stuff, I feel like there's been shifts, so that's why I think it's still doable. But yeah, it's doable, and I don't think it should be. I feel like it should be just that's just life for everybody. That's just normal.
Yeah.
That's just your average everyday shit. But I feel like I don't know. It's a little different for my brain, so that's why it's a little toughy.
I get it.
But
You talk to your parents more than I think both Steve and I do too.
oh really?
Like, well, because like you said like mentioning friends and stuff like that. Like I don't mention shit, dude.
Like have conversations about like
what's
like,
happening in a
friend
friend
groups.
group, what's happening with
I
their
don't,
blah, blah.
yeah.
I'm like, no.
Oh
yeah, I'm nowhere near like that with them. Like I think the most part, if anything, my parents usually, if they ask anything, it's like, oh, like we haven't seen Lee or Richard in a while. Like, what are they up to? I'm like, they've just been busy. I was like, our work schedules don't match, and it's like, oh, okay, and that's kind of it. Like, it's more curiosity of like, oh, why haven't seen them, or why haven't they been at the party? Like, if they not like, did you not invite them? Like, no, they're just our schedules just don't align. Like, I'll be like, Richard's still at work, or Lee said he's gonna show up like a lot later, and they'll be like, oh, okay. But yeah, no, I've never been to the point of like talking to my like I won't sit down and have a conversation with my mom about like my friends, like be like, oh, this is what they're up to, or this is what they're doing, and like none of that. I don't update them on their lives. I update more on like my life.
My
I don't
parents,
even really update them unless it's like directly related to like I don't know finances or something like that.
Yeah, things like that. Even when I take trips, I don't tell them. I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm leaving. Like I literally told my parents, what was it like earlier this week? I was like, hey, just a reminder, I'm leaving in San Fran next week. They're like, oh, okay, and I was like, yeah,
same.
I was like, I told him, I was like, I'm gonna go see him, and I'm gonna go to a show. And they're like, okay. I was like, when I was like, once you get this, I was like, I've just had it. Like, all right. And it's kind of just like that. Like, it's very like baseline.
Yeah, my both my parents know what you guys do for a living, basically.
Yeah.
I had that conversation even with my dad today, talking about Steve and what he does for work and telling them about what we're trying to do and like how it might be involving other parties or talking about Richard's nocturnal training shifts and then telling them both no and saying it was big news for Richard. He's finally back on regular or something like that. So they know about stuff like that. They know about like friend drama for the most part. They know about the podcast. Like my mom will ask every now and then when we're both like working a job and we're both working in the same space. She'll ask about it. Like what was the last topic you guys talked about that was interesting? And then I'll talk to her about it. Then we'll talk about that. And then we'll have like a conversation about like her shit.
My mom later asked me, because sometimes she'll ask me for like favors. Oh, can you take me here? Can you take me here? But I'll be like, oh, I have to do something. Like, if she asks me in advance, obviously I will plan around that.
Of course. Yeah.
But I've told her many times now. I'm like, I don't mind doing favors, but my big thing is,
give me what
last
time.
minute. I need you to do this for me in the next 10 minutes.
That's literally the conversation I just had with my mom. Like last month.
I'm like, I don't mind it, but the thing is, you have to keep in mind, like sometimes I have stuff in my head that I need to be done.
Yeah,
and it gets annoying. And she's like, oh yeah, like I get it. So she's gotten better about being like, hey, like, can you take me this place in tomorrow or the next couple days? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But she'll always ask me like, oh, are you doing something? Like, say like right now, are you gonna do something in the next hour or whatever? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do something on the computer. I never tell her like, oh yeah, we're recording a podcast or
yeah, no. I think if anything,
when I make music, like she doesn't ask me or I never tell her. It's like the only time that she knew about me releasing anything was after a couple days it's released, and it's usually one of my nieces that show her. I'm like, yeah, I just don't. I feel like there has to be that clear separation, at least in my brain, of like my life,
and then my life with my family.
And what exactly?
Yeah,
because if they blend too much, I'm like, I can't see you as my parent anymore, and that kind of messes with me too much.
I think that's my thing is that they're so intertwined into my life where it's like, yeah, I'm kind of starting to just see you guys as people. And I kind of want to be seen as just a person now. I'm kind of over being seen as somebody's son because I'm 33 years old.
And you're always going to be somebody's son.
Yeah, I know. But that's where my brain's at because they're also my coworkers. They're also my boss. They're also my roommates. They're also my family. So it's like,
I get you.
It's just this constant, like we're all just wearing different hats for one another. I feel like, but just being around each other all the time, my brain is what makes me cope with the shit that bothers me or irks me, but like will irk me more than it might you guys because that's just my brain chemistry. So I just kind of like put them with different hats at different moments, but then it kind of all comes together as at the end of the day. I'm a person and you guys were people before you guys had me, like just people in general. You've been a person longer than you've been my parent. So I think that's also like my brain just in that situation.
It's just the dynamic change.
Well, I think with that being said though, I think that's why I'm just so able to have like a conversation with them for the most part, because it's like, I don't know. I think it's also kind of my way of being like, I'm doing stuff, you know, I might be like a homebody for the most part, but a lot of my social circle, even from people that are like nearby or even down the street, I'm still messaging. It's all through message. It's all through like phone calls or like Discord messages and stuff like that. So
that's the one other thing too, where I get shit from my family a lot. And I occasionally like people like Steve.
What do I do?
Just people who are more introverted, where they're like, you don't get bored in there?
I've never
I'll get that.
No, you don't. But it's just like, you still kind of like, oh, you should go out or you should come out or anything like that. And I'm like, no, I just don't want to.
We should do
earlier years.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Nowadays, it's like we're more or less
on the
understanding. Yes.
Yeah.
But my family still, mainly like the older ones. Obviously, my nieces and stuff, whatever.
Yeah, they're our
they know what I'm
generation.
doing.
They know, yeah.
Exactly. But like the older ones, they're like, you don't get bored of like just playing games or what's it called? Just being on your computer, staring at a screen all day. I'm like, first of all, I'm not always just staring at a screen. I have other hobbies that I like to do in my room.
Yeah.
Second of all, I don't like people all that much. And it's not, I'm sure you guys, people who are more
I don't like people.
outroverted, people who go out and do stuff, I guarantee you they're the same way, but they just don't have any other hobbies indoors that fill that whatever it is that they want to do.
Yeah.
Realistically, I guarantee you they get tired of people just as much as I do. It's like, obviously I can interact, but whatever. My whole thing is like, they'll give me shit for that. I'm like, no, I don't get tired of it because, you know, whatever it is that I can do out there, besides obviously, you know, doing like outdoor activities, I can do in here. I can talk to my friends in online. I can literally just entertain myself and watch TV if I want to here.
Yeah.
I could just look up random knowledge that I
everything's
want.
at a disposable.
And that's not being said that I'm just like, yes, I'm going to live my entire life in front of a fucking screen. But it's like,
right.
That's what they think. Yeah, I had a conversation a few years ago with my parents, like, especially when I built my computer, right? Like, they saw me, like, how much I invested into it, like, what I put into it, like, when I took it to Richard's house to build it and came back with it. And I remember, like, my dad having a conversation with, like, well, you're spending so much money, like, you're just gonna, like, playing video games. And I told my dad, I was like, look, I was like, every day on this thing, I was like, is not the same thing. I was like, to you guys, it looks like I'm doing the same shit every day. I'm doing the same thing. I was like, that's not even the case. Like, I think for the most part, like, they now understand that, like, every day's a new day on this thing for me, especially when I'm on it. And I mean, I think I have a healthy balance of it, even though, like, I tend to, like, try to, like, really stretch my time irresponsibly, at the same time try to be responsible about it. Like, it's such a, like, a never-ending battle for me. But I think for them, like, they've realized, okay, like, he has his career, like, comes home and this is, like, where he distresses, like, this is where he, like, I spend most of my time with you guys. Like, when going back to what we were talking about earlier, right? Like right now, right? Everybody's in the backyard. Like, they're all hanging out. My family's here. But like, they're like, oh, you're not going to come out here and eat? I'm like, no, I got to record something with the guys. And they're like, oh, okay. And that's it. That's literally it. Like, they never question it. They never ask what. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, I just got to record with them. Like, we're recording something. And they're like, oh, okay. And that's kind of it. Like, we just leave it like that. But like, to them, it's like, that's just, they're like, oh, Steve's just hanging out. Like, you know, like, but it's like, as I've gotten older, I think there was a point where Richard and I were out a lot. Like, we would go out a lot. Like, we would, like, go out to eat. We'd be at Disney, you know, like, but our priorities and our responsibilities were very different, right? So it's like, now, like, if I have the choice to stay home or go out, I would stay home and play my games. Like, I will stay home and be on my computer. There's times where we're hanging out. I'm not even doing anything. I'm literally, like, my chair's reclined. I'm just brain rotting on my phone, or I'm reading a report for, like, a new client. And I'm just listening to us talk shit, or we're watching something, or someone's playing and we're watching them play. Like, it's like, you know, it's the same shit to me as, like, watching, like, YouTube, you know? Like, I don't have indoor hobbies like Richard does. I think the most indoor hobby I have is, like, I have a stack of books right here on my desk that, like, I'm, like, slowly inching and, like, reading through. But those are, like, late night things, right? Like, if I get off and I'm like, I have work in the morning, I'll stay up, like, an additional 30 minutes just to read, just to kind of, like, process my brain through it, read a little bit, go to bed. I think my only hobby is really just gymming. So it's like, but that requires me to go outside, you know? So that's my excuse to be like, oh, I went outside, you know?
Not do push-ups right there.
I think
squats right now.
I think that's why I think, I don't know, when I was younger, especially because my brother and I were kind of the gamers of the family, really.
Yeah, I've always been the gamer.
But I think my dad also, he was a gamer too, even when he was working at like the first job I remember him working at, like, Daily Saw. It's like a metal company. They did like mechanical parts and stuff like that, I think. They got him into PC gaming because they were all playing Rogue Spear. And my dad got into upgrading his PC and using old used parts from his coworkers and then having to like get mods on floppy disk or CDs and install it into his computer so they could all play together and stuff like that. So he kind of got like the appeal of video games because he was part of like that wave. But even then, I remember there being moments of, obviously I feel like since me and my brother were such big gamers or nerds, there was like the occasional like you're playing the game a lot, like you guys, of course, like that happens. But it was also like aren't you like not lonely, but don't you want to like, what are you gonna do if you're gonna date someone? What about all those things? I feel like the real like, my son's a fucking nerd, he's gonna be a virgin his whole life, what the fuck are we gonna do? I think I had like those stereotypical like interactions kind of.
You're a deviant.
Yeah, but see, as time has gone on, I think when I did have my moment of also just kind of going out a lot too on my own, not like on my own, but like with people that they like didn't know at all whatsoever. I would just call them like party friends, and I would just go out or get picked up or Uber somewhere. But yeah, I've had moments where it's like, I remember I had moments where it was like, you're going out a lot, not almost too much, but it was always like I went out Friday night, I'm going out Saturday, and then I'm gonna go do something like Sunday morning or whatever. And then it like going from Friday to Saturday, and then Saturday telling like, okay, I'm gonna head out. I remember being hit with again, why? It's dangerous or out there or some shit. That's where all this trauma or PTSD or whatever you might want to call it.
Like, damn if I do, damn if I don't type thing.
Yes, exactly. So as I've gotten older, it just my like way of showing like, because even my aunt, one of my aunts, I'm not gonna say which side or whatever specifically, but I remember her going out to my folks and being concerned about my brothers and mine's like socialness, like worried that we're not going out enough. The fact that we work with you guys and still live at home is stunting our growth as humans and as people. And where like she's concerned for our social well-being. And I was like, Nancy, I have a trip out of state in like a month. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I remember taking pictures. I take pictures, of course, and like post them and stuff like that. And it's just to like, celebrate what I'm doing, and the people that I'm with. But also, I feel like it's also kind of my like subconscious way of hearing those things as I've gone older, as I was growing up, and then seeing like in media, you kind of see like the depiction of people that are gamers or nerds or indoor people or shut-ins that are very much like antisocial, weird incels, don't do anything or whatever. And I feel like I, for the most part, look like that kind of crowd. I think I look a little more not that.
I don't think you look like that crowd. We've seen it, dude. When we were at Frankenstein's the last time, dude, we saw incels. Like,
that's why I think that if someone were to see me and I tell them like that I'm into video games, I think I never really get like a shocked response. It's very much like oh, okay, yeah, cool. Like I feel like I give that look, but I'm also out and I look the way that I look and carry myself the way that I do and talk the way that I talk. So I think that's where the split happens. But I think my subconscious thing is that when I'm going somewhere and I send pictures to my folks or I'll post them somewhere, it's also like a way of like just being like, yeah, I do stuff. I have a social circle. I have like the means to go do these things.
Do you do it out of spite?
Out of spite for what I had to deal with when I was growing up. I think part of it, or like a portion of it, is that. But it's not. Yeah, it's not everything, of course, but it's part of it, I think, or like a portion or whatever. But yeah, I remember when I was growing up, especially from my like, again, one of my uncles is always the old heads that are like, oh, what were you doing? Were you gaming? Is that why you showed up late? Were you like doing this? Or if we're leaving early, it's like, well, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go game? You're just gonna sit in your room, you're gonna play video games instead of hanging out over here with your family? It's like
yeah. Bitch.
Yeah, I think at some point I was just like, yeah, yes. And then I remember getting hit with like the conversation with my folks and being like, you shouldn't be talking to your uncles like that. It's like, they should be talking to me like that. It doesn't make any sense. I'm like, and then it was the selling, the whole like concept of when you guys were growing up and when you guys got home from work or got done with what you were doing, you would just watch TV and maybe cook some food or prepare food or watch TV, maybe go play a sport or something, go shop or whatever. Like you guys had things you were doing. My thing is this or whatever I'm into at the time. And honestly, people, especially in my neighborhood, I think you guys are getting off really well with like, you know, at that age, like your kid just wanting to be at home and just play video games. Cause I could just be doing anything else under the sun, like 100%. Like the means of getting drugs, alcohol, anything like that when I was like super young was so doable. So I think you guys having a nerd rather than a fuck up, I think is almost better.
I think that was my mom's piece. It was like, yeah, he's inside playing video games, whatever, but he's not outside like getting himself arrested, doing stupid shit,
getting in trouble.
Not anymore.
Smoking crack with bums.
Not anymore.
I never smoked crack with bums, dude. That was classy.
He smoked it with the high class.
With us.
I smoked it with friends.
What?
But yeah, I think that's kind of what it boils down to, where it's like, this is what I'm into, because I know they would also tell my folks stuff. So I think that's why I'm even more like, hey, parents, I've done these things. Here's some pictures. So
I was gonna say the other thing too, for me, what I hate when they do that right now, like for example, your uncle or whatever, like, oh, you're gonna be in there instead of being with your family. It's like, okay,
you don't contribute to me,
but also y'all can be some of the most insufferable people that I are in my life. Why would I want to be around that constantly? It's like, I love my family, and you know, there's a bunch of people who have way worse families. Yep. But at the same time, it's like, just because we're family doesn't necessarily mean I have
to spend every waking moment with
exactly you. And I have to fucking like cater to that relationship. I'm like, if we just happen to share a common fucking
connection,
relative, ancestor, whatever the fuck, that's cool. But if you're still a piece of shit, or if you're just, we don't click like that, don't expect me to reach out or want to be around that all the time.
Right.
Yeah. Like, that's just how it works.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think, I think with that, it just kind of circles back to like, with my folks, I think it's also why I'm so like I remember I've brought it up a couple times. I remember like the being in the process of moving out or trying to move out over to where you guys are at. I remember the at first it was fine, and then as like the hours went on, there was like a like kind of like a self-realization, or like them thinking about it, of like the fact that I never brought it up. And they're like, you tell us like everything. And I remember thinking back on it, and I'm like, no, I don't. But that was also because of like the stuff that I wasn't telling them was just, you know, sexuality and like what I would do with that, basically stuff. Like, yeah, going out to gay bars or hanging out with my queer friends. And especially at that time, like before, it was just hanging out with like local friends from high school. And then we would just go out, you know, all around LA. Then when I got into my 20s, it was just being more queer, just being more gay, and I hadn't come out to them yet. So I think that's when it kind of like clicked a little bit in my head, where it's like, for like the past 20 something years, you've kind of just been hiding like just a huge part of you. So, you know, just it after coming out, it's like, okay, now you kind of like work on the process of being a little bit more honest or being a little bit more you. So I think that's why it's even more like, I try to be as much me with them as I am with you guys. Obviously there is like cushion or less so on for them, but it's still like close to being similar for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's just my subconscious way of being like, yeah, it just makes it a little bit easier, especially with what I was trying to do and wanting to do, like move out and stuff like that and all this stuff. So yeah, it just worked out in my brain of like, just tell them what's up and what's going on and stuff like that. It's also like, there is nobody local that And even if I were to call you guys, I know I could, but it's like if I'm going through stuff, I kind of have an idea of what your responses are going to be. And it's like, if it's what I'm looking for, then I'll do it. If it's not what I'm looking for, I'm not going to do it. Because I kind of have an idea of like what I want out of like a conversation when it comes to like, hey, so this friend drama is going on, or hey, this is like this person's new career thing, or this is what's going on, or whatever. Like I'm more inclined to speak to my mother about stuff like that. Like I'll obviously talk to my dad, obviously, but with my mom, I think it's just more of like a girly thing. It's like, oh my god, so this is the tea, this is the drama.
I was gonna say
the shit.
That kind of talk, is definitely more of like a girly speak with the girls and spill tea type of thing. I'm not that kind of person at all. I'm sorry. I just will not care. I will blank out halfway through the conversation.
But
I think some conversation. What?
I said Richard does spill tea very well. Sure. When he's into it, he spills the tea very well.
It's because for me, it's like I don't care half the time unless it's people that I know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, I don't know, man.
Like for example, for me, right? Like without saying anything, without mentioning anything, like when you guys are like sharing what's going on somewhere, if it's something new, I'm all ears and I'll listen and I'll put my input and we can have a conversation. But if it's like, for example, right, like yesterday, right, as soon as I came in, I was like, oh, we're at that dead horse again. Like we're still beating the dead horse. Like, all right, like I thought I was in my brain process. I was like, I zoned out. Like I literally like, I think at some point I even told Richard, like I said it as a joke to him and he just laughed and he was like, But I know Richard's like, I don't care. Like he's, but that's
my whole thing was that like, because details emerged about that updated it. Yeah. So I was like, it makes sense. I
mean, even then, like for me, it's just like, but I think for my sake, I'm like, because I'm not in that space.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, but
exactly.
But at the same time,
that's why I don't follow you.
Huh?
That's why I don't follow you for not caring, because it's like you didn't know who they were.
And it's not that I don't care, because obviously like Lee's feelings do matter to me. Obviously, like he is one of our best friends, you know. So it's like obviously like you caring about it obviously is still impactful, because I know it carries weight for you, and our whole lives you've been very like big on like how you carry yourself with your friends and with people around you and the people who you deem, you know, the people you truly care for. But it's like in my end and on my end, at least in that particular conversations, I'm like,
I think it's
just let it die, please.
Yeah, no, like knowing you and stuff like that. That's why I like, again, it's one of those things where like I'll talk to like my folks about everything, but then obviously not everything. Certain things, of course, we're going to talk to them, or certain things we're going to talk to other people. But that's why like it kind of just circles back to what I was saying just before was like I know what kind of reactions or what kind of comments or how the conversation might go if I bring things up to either of you, especially if it's like just any topic really. If it's like, especially if it's trauma related, or if it's going to be like my life or anything really. Like you guys are my best friends, so I have like a general idea of what the fuck is gonna happen.
Right.
But when it comes down to stuff like that, it's like I know that if I'm gonna talk to you or either of you about it, you guys are gonna listen. You guys aren't gonna just I don't know, like blow it off, because I think if I'm gonna bring it up, it's gonna be like there's a point, and I think you guys understand that.
Yeah.
But like if it's even if something old is brought up, at least that's the difference for me, is that even if it's something old that's brought up, not even my situation or whatever I'm going through, if it's like you guys or if it's somebody else and I know like the details, and then you like enlighten me like a couple months later, I'd be like, and if I remember, then I'm just locked into the conversation for the most part. But that's also just like a difference in just personalities and like what we're you know down for in conversations and stuff like that. Because again, like you know, I could be a girl's girl sometimes where it's like, bitch, what the fuck happened? Tell me.
I think for the most part, like you'll always have the floor when it comes to talking about whatever's like the most important part that we've like grown in our friendships.
Yeah.
It's like we give each other that floor, right? Even if
Yeah, we
we're
give
just
each other
like,
grace when it like in
Yeah.
space to make those conversations
so
happen.
it's like I'll never be like, dude, like I'll never directly look at you and be like, bro, who cares? Like I'm not gonna say like that's so disrespectful, you know? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you're just invalidating your friend's feelings because you don't care.
Right.
But it's like no, but like I was like my best example was like yesterday, right? I was just like, I'm not obviously I'm not like who cares, but I'm like that horse is dead, dude. Like that should been dead.
Yeah, I think like Richard said, like just new details have been brought up, so I was like, oh, I had no idea, and it's being brought up. Like I don't bring it up with Richard, I think, or
it just comes up.
Cactus, and if I do, it's usually when something like big has happened, and it's like, oh, you know, blah blah blah. Because yeah, but whenever it is like a conversation or it is the topic, you most likely are coming into like the end or the middle, and we had just found out about something like brand new, and it's like, oh, okay, as like part of my personality, that's just kind of like how I am, where it's like if you're gonna tell me new stuff and I know the tea, I'm gonna be like, oh, what's going on? What do you mean?
Yeah, but
that's just me loving the tea again,
drama.
taking the sips. Yeah. It is what it is. It can be fun sometimes, but yeah. So that's why, especially yesterday when you came in, it was at the tail end of it because I was having the conversation, and then Richard showed up, then you showed up, and I was like,
yeah. Obviously, I know it was the information because it was like things that haven't been spoken. I just when I heard like
the subject,
what the subject was, I was just like,
right. Yeah. No,
I'm like, obviously in my brain, I'm like, obviously, because you're no longer there, all of this is always going to be new information. So it's like in my brain, I'm like, everything every time is going to be additional information, unless it's washed and said differently. Then it's like, oh, it's the same thing. I already know this. But it's like a lot of it should, like, as time progresses, everything's going to be new information. As time flies and lives keep on going, it's always going to be new information. Like, man, like, I think Richard instilled that in me in our friendship, where I'm like, I've just learned to just, bro, if I don't fuck with you or I don't know you, I don't care, like, type shit. But it's like at the same, I think from in this specific thing, it was just more your involvement was very, very close, you know, and obviously you put time into like into that subject itself. So I get it. I'm like, yeah, have the floor, dude. Like,
what were you gonna say, Richard?
I don't know. That was just, it's something I learned about myself more. I think I brought it up somewhat yesterday, where I was just like, as a person, as in any kind of relationship, whether that's friendship, romantic, or whatever. And I've said it before, I will put my all into that relationship because I fuck with you. What's it called? You're my friend. Yeah, I'm gonna do everything that I can as a friend to show you that I value that relationship or whatever.
Right.
But the second that I feel that isn't reciprocated,
right,
or I'm wasting my time, I'm out. I leave. I literally just I cut it out, and I'm like, I just don't see a point in staying here or anything like that. And yeah, that's just how I am with like anything. And I'm like, I understand for some people it's harder to do anything to do that, but at least for me, that's what works, you know.
Yeah,
it's I have a peace of mind leaving that, knowing that whatever, nothing happened, or what's it called, sure,
no
what's
it called
gain. No loss, no gain.
I got all my fingers, dude,
but I'm cool, I'm intact.
I think when it comes to me and it comes to like stuff like that, like I will have moments, but I think it also depends on like the gravity of the situation, whether it be something small that was short-lived or something that's long and well established. I don't know. I'm the kind of person, and I think we all know this, and people I may be assuming that have been listening for a while. I can kind of like I'll forgive, but I don't forget. And and I kind of hold high expectations after the fact. So
That's
it is
also
my-
like
it is my own fault. I know
I was
that
gonna say,
much.
that's also a reason why I wouldn't keep going with it, because I'm like,
Would
then
you
there's so
consider-
much standards on the relationship or on that where it's just like one little thing. I don't know if that's gonna really be like, for example, like I don't know, it's just like one little thing that they do wrong after that they've already wronged me. I'm like, even if old me would have seen that as like, oh, that's nothing, new me will be like, well, was there underlying thought behind that? Was there underlying resentment behind them doing that one
Right? Was
small
the decision
wrong?
or was the
The
action
residual
taken
just
in a
like resentment, and it's like, I can't live like that, if because then that just stresses me out, and I don't want to be stressed out over a relationship or whatever
you're
that
not
that
growing from?
realistically nothing will happen if they're gone.
Yeah.
That's me.
Lee, do you consider that like the way or maybe it's just the way you described it? Do you think that you consider that like a toxic trait for yourself, where it's like you won't?
Yeah. Oh, he's lag. He's just lagging.
I wonder if he can hear us.
Are you
Wait,
talking?
there you go. No, he was.
no, everybody's lagging. Everybody's
Oh,
lagging.
okay, okay.
Okay, so at least we can hear you.
Oh,
Okay,
wait. Okay,
There
there,
we
we
go.
go.
You back?
Hello.
You back?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think you were lagging out for us.
No, I know. Yeah, that's why I was lagging, and I was like, I could barely make out what Rich was saying at the end, but
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had a question for you
Yes.
before that part. Yeah,
oh yeah,
I was
what's
saying,
up?
I was like, based on what you said, and I don't know if it's just wording, maybe that's like that like gave me that thought. Like, do you consider that like your toxic trait as a human, as a person, like as a friend or relationship? Where it's
I
like you can
don't-
forgive somebody, but you can't forget, and because of that, you hold high standards to be like, well, now I need you to be this type of person because that's what you're choosing, that's what you chose to do. So now you got to do this for me.
I think it's kind of like a mixture both of like what I was gonna say, and that is that I think it's my toxic trait might be I don't let go, or it's hard for me to let go of things, like just most things, like my routine, my pattern, the foods I like to eat on certain days, the activities I like to do on certain games, the play style of games, the way I smoke weed, the way the certain drinks I'll drink. Like, I think that's where the stuff up here is kind of bleeding into the everyday life, but I make it work. I make it work, the best that I can. And I think my way of not letting go, but also letting go, and is that I think it's a, like, if it's cut off, then it's cut off. If it's not, if that thing isn't there, those people, that area, that routine, if it's gone, then yeah, that's I'll make the process of like trying to like function without it. But if it does make a return, if it does come back, if I do go back to this thing, or if I am back in this job or whatever, something like that, that's also where I make expectations for anything, whether it be a person, a thing, an activity, a place, a dynamic. Like, I think it's kind of my way of kind of not holding something too high in regard to where it's going to cause like a disruption to my flow, the way that I function. Cause, like I've been saying, I've like patterns, I like routines. So when something that was the standard that caused turmoil and then is now back, but is causing the slightest ripples, then that's where it's like, well, what the fuck? Like that that's where certain actions are seen like bigger than usual. But I also think as I've gotten older, my brain kind of just chalks it up as I just have high expectations just in general. Like I'd rather have high expectations for my friends and people that I consider close to me, and be jaded by that, because I communicate this to people. I communicate that expectation and that thought philosophy to everybody, whether like even my parents, like again, talk to them about almost everything. Like I tell them that this is how I see things. I remember I had a conversation with my mom, and I had I'm telling her about this really serious kind of real life situation, a conversation that I was having with a friend. And he was kind of like really talking about not so good things. And a lot of it stemmed from his physical appearance. And me and him have a very similar like look. And I remember telling him, yeah. And I remember telling him like, dude, me personally, I am, I'm aware I'm a big bitch. And so are you. Like, that's just how it is. But my self-confidence, I don't know. I just know like for a fact that I am cute. I am handsome to some. I am sexy to others. And that's fine. That's cool. That's fine with me. Like it is what it is. Like that's where my self-confidence comes from. And maybe that's toxic, whatever it may be, but I think it's better than otherwise. But yeah, I think it's just this, like I had that conversation with her and I think that could just kind of, she was kind of surprised by like, that's the expectation or the standard that I hold myself to or see myself as. And I could tell that she was kind of like, pleasantly surprised for the most part, because I think I don't know, I think when it comes to like somebody that is like heavier set, you don't really hear a lot of people like kind of holding themselves to like not a standard or being, or I don't know, I feel like there's like the certain level of self-deprecation and like I'm happy where I'm at, but it's like no, I'm happy where I'm at. It could be better, but I'm having fun. This is okay. And I kind of not expect people to think the same, but it's like that's my expectations for myself. So those expectations just kind of like transfer around in my life where it's like, yeah, I expect my friends to operate at like at least this base level, and anything above that is pleasantly surprising.
Interesting.
But if it's below that, then that's when you, and like for anybody gets hit with a like, it's usually frustration. Frustration is like the key like response, which is something that I think is toxic that I'm now working on or try to work on a little bit more. But that one's tough. That one's been hard.
I think
it's a toughie.
I know I've always been seen as like, and I talked to you guys about it as like how would I say it? A pessimist, I guess. Because like for me, I don't really have expectations of anybody. The most expectation that I have is everybody's going to disappoint you at some point. It's up to you whether that disappointment is enough to cut them out. That's me. I'm like,
yeah.
Realistically, nobody can ever live up to any sort of expectation that you have for them in your head.
Right.
And it's like, okay, then why am I going to go into a relationship or wherever expecting them to be perfect when I'm not perfect, expecting them to have this super high level of understanding or I don't know, certain things. And I don't know if I'm that to them. And I'm like, yeah, everybody lives life differently. Everybody has different traits to them. And I just don't see a way that it's possible for everybody to get along 100% and or just not have those moments of turbulence. And it's just like, that's fine. As long as they're not huge assholes to me or to people who I care about. You know what? It's just, that's fine with me. Just don't, again, as long as you don't reach that threshold, I'll keep you around, or I think you're worth keeping around.
I think that's my version of that is like the things that I'll say, like communication's important, trying to tell people to be open with me. But I think my version of that is understanding that if and when it happens, I know I'm going to be frustrated. So I try to circumvent the frustration with like other thoughts that will come afterwards. Like, oh, this happened because of this, or this is that, or that, like just things that will make sense so that the frustration goes from frustration to a slight understanding. And it's like, okay, then I can process that more than this is making me really like frustrated and mad or annoyed, and that's harder for me to process and go through quicker. So
Yeah.
I also I don't think it necessarily is, but I also do kind of see expectations as a selfish thing. And I'm like,
yeah, I can see that.
I'm not selfish enough to think that everybody should have, or I should put these expectations onto people, because that means they have to cater to me. And I'm like, I'm just another person out here. We're just all here gonna die within the next 40 to 50 years.
Right.
We'll just do our best and see where we go. That's it.
Yeah. I think my thing is, I kind of feel like I have to keep myself to a certain standard or expectation, like my bubble, or just me as a person too, just because being queer, being gay, being whatever, I think that inherently not invites, it's not an invitation whatsoever, but I think that inherently puts a target on just a person, and you just, a certain portion of people and a decent portion of the people in the world do not want you to just exist for the most part. So I feel like my expectation is, I think just by default higher, just because of like, I expect you to treat me the way I'm going to treat you. And if it's anything below that in the beginning, then it's like a survival thing. I feel like it's a social survival thing, because the possibility of me going up to somebody, a group of guys usually, and if there's 10 of us, like at least one of them isn't gonna fuck with me whatsoever, or maybe two. Just so it's just a way of like, and it is because of that. Like I know for a fact, like all the other shit a part of my personality, I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but I know that for a fact, all the other things that make up my personality and my hobbies and stuff like that, I think are very, very welcoming and very easy to talk about. And I can talk about anything and all my stuff and have a conversation, go back and forth with anyone. Sure. But I think that inherently alone just pulls me out of like a good portion of like meeting people and stuff like that. Just if they if they see it in a negative way. So I think that's why my default standard for myself and like the people around me is kind of at where it's at. And also trauma and past shit that I've dealt with just kind of doesn't, I don't forget very easily. So it's like one of those things. I'm like 9/11. I always remember. But
no, they never forget.
Oh, yes. Like an
Iran's never going to forget Trump. You saw the flag that's just like, we're going to kill you.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
Iran just like, they released a big ass banner and a bunch of other shit that just says, we're going to kill Trump. And I'm just like,
but don't do it at our expense, please.
Dude, I know.
Please make sure that it's only him.
I want them, like, if they're going to do something, please just look at the electoral map and just look at everything that's red and go from there, dude.
Yeah.
Please.
No, because don't we have friends in those states too?
We can house them. That's fine.
You're right.
Yeah, dude.
Sacrifices, dude.
Sacrifice everybody else, but we keep the ones that we like.
We can't do that, dude. That's not how bombs work. It's all
give us a heads up. Just give us a heads up, like right before you do it.
Just do it,
and we'll fly them out.
Just do it, dude.
We don't know anybody that lives in DC. Just target DC. There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry to everybody else.
sorry to DC.
All right. That being said,
that's a long emotional one.
Yeah. Entering our final portion. Do it. Entering our final portion of our podcast, where we share what our latest and greatest favorite exceptions are. We will start with Lee. What's got going on?
Hey,
birthday boy.
What's up, birthday boy? I know it's the end of my birthday week. Yeah,
late
no,
birthday.
I'm not. Not 35. I said, yeah, it's my birthday week. And then he said that. So I was like, no. But yeah, it was my birthday week. It was 44. A lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was nice hanging out with everyone. Nice, nice gifts. And then last night was a lot of fun. So thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate it. It's also nice, just everybody that showed up. It was a good time. But but for recommendations, I finally gave the full listen to Olivia Rodrigo's last album. You seem pretty sad for a girl so in love. And I remember Steve saying, like, I think he said the last song was the last song that was like the one that hit the most. And I was like, yeah.
Cigarette Smoke?
Yeah. It's cool. I listened to it, and
that's a good song.
The whole album is structured in a really cool way.
It's cute. It's like it's hard not to not feel
that's
that off of it.
Well, no, that's the thing, is that I guess musical spoiler kind of it's an album.
It's been out for a while.
The first 6 tracks it's split into 2 parts. The first part is like somebody in love and kind of slowly coming out of it, but then the last part is blue. It's just sad realizations, coming to acceptance and stuff like that, and just melancholy, just remembering the old bad sad times and coming to realization of certain things that happened.
I watched a video of someone describing that, kind of how like you're doing it, but the way they described it was like, it's blue in a sense that it's like you're sad that it happened, but you're glad that you went through it, and it's like you will always like the words in the songs, or like the way she like plays them out, right? It's very like, I will hold this person with love in that space of time of my life, but I'm now ready to move on, and kind of like your memories live within my house, within my space, but we move on from that.
It's broken up in the 2 parts, and it's the first 6 tracks are considered like the red part, the love, the pink, and then this then you hit track 7, and that's purple, and the last 6 are the blue section. So red, blue make purple. So that's why it seems like that was intentional, and it seems that way. It is really good. I really fuck with the album. I did have moments of like, just mourning stuff and just appreciating certain things and people and just everything, really. And it's a cool album. I recommend people giving it a listen. She's slowly kind of like, obviously she's growing up, but she's slowly kind of coming to this point where she's more of like a person, more of an adult, and you're not really hearing like, I got my driver's license or high school classes or teenage drama or anything like that. It's more, I feel like it's a little bit more relatable. And it's just everybody has dealt with like heartache or heartbreak or be splitting or being enamored with someone or loving a pet or whatever. Like it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be platonic, or it could be just the love of something that's dear that isn't around anymore. And I feel like the album kind of has a good grasp of that both of those feelings. So check it out. You seem pretty sad for a girl so in love. Cool album. There's anime again. I haven't really watched any this week, but check them out. There are animes that are starting back up. Just in general, a lot of like just season 3s or continuations and of what's already rerunning or running now. Final regards. I don't know, really. Have a good rest of your summer. Stay hydrated. There's a lot of like things that are being sold that are like cooling fabrics or sleeves and stuff. If you're trying to deal with the summer heat, just cool off your feet and cool off the back of your neck, and you'll drop a good couple degrees, and it'll help out a lot. So that's my tip, and that's my final regard. Stay hydrated. Stay fresh.
Cool. Richard.
Well, I don't really have anything to recommend, but you brought up that album.
Yes.
From the sounds of it, it sounds like a breakup album, right? A heartache album.
A little bit.
And my go-to has always been Currents by Tame Impala. One of the best albums ever. If you're ever going through heartache, listen to that fucking album. This man encapsulates really what the heartbreak, but also the acceptance of moving on and just kind of getting better. It is what it is. Things are happening, and sometimes people just don't mesh.
Mm.
One of my favorites that specifically talks about that is like "Yes, I'm Changing," again by Tim Impala. His voice is fucking amazing on it. The instrumental is pretty simple, but towards the end of it, it gets so layered and amazing and just ethereal, and it's so good. Never stop singing the praises of this album. Great, but yeah,
Sure.
go listen to the whole album. And Final Regards. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to recommend. Final Regards. Change is inevitable. What's it called? Enjoy summer. I know that we're like June gloom or whatever, but I'm like, honestly, I feel like lately time has just kind of like everything that's supposed to be happening is happening a month later. So like it hasn't been that hot in California, at least where we live. It's getting hotter, but
Yeah.
we haven't reached those crazy ass temperatures just yet. And I'm fully expecting that by
This
the
week
end
we
of this
do.
month, if not next month.
Wednesday, we're in the hundreds.
There you go. So enjoy summer. Talk with your friends.
Yeah.
Always important. And if you don't have friends to talk to, go get therapy. Legit. And maybe get therapy even if you're talking to your friends, because sometimes your friends can only do so much. And yeah, that's it for me.
Cool.
We are not medical professionals.
Recommendations. If you have a
Turn it
chance,
back
go
up
watch
to
Evil
the
Dead Burn.
trigger.
That's a great fucking movie. Evil Dead is Evil Dead. It does what it needs to do when you watch it, and it is a great fucking gory, bloody, non-creepy, but very still comical, fun film to watch.
Trust.
Song-wise, to add on to our sad ass music list of the
Listen to
ours.
sad ass music while you're
June
enjoying
gloom.
summer.
Yeah.
Oh, June gloom.
yeah.
You're right.
you know, I don't want to go that way by the Paper Kites is a song that I've been like slowly just listening to. I think it's been a very like I usually listen to like songs like this when I'm like driving home from the gym or I'm like coming home from work, kind of just unwinding. Very chill.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be some country shit.
No.
My heart. The
My
Lord.
tractor got a flat tire.
My truck.
That's right.
My truck.
My truck.
Final regards. Fuck, you get what you get and you don't get upset, dude. That is the motto of life, and you gotta roll with it. You know, whether it's with friends, whether it's the people you who are your family members, because your parents, siblings, like we can't pick them. We could choose them, but that's not nor here nor there for a lot of people. So, yeah, it's important to speak to your friends, whether it's something they did wrong, something you feel is going on, or you just want to be a little gossip girl and hee with them.
XOXO.
Or like Richard said, therapy is available. There is a giant amount of options and resources. It's just really going out of your way. Therapy doesn't make you
cut everybody out of your life and find a new life in another city, across the state or country,
pack your
or
bag.
the world.
Good job.
Pack your bag, fill up your tank, just go.
Go to the Philippines.
What the fuck?
$1 goes a long way there.
That part.
A doll hair?
Dollar.
That being
Steve.
said, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. We love you guys. Be safe out there. Jim Gloom is around. It is a very prone depressive moment in people's lives for whatever reason. But just make the best of it. We've got a lot of fun things in our life too.
June gloom. Stay inside. Build a Lego set. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Peace.